Hello and welcome to Pup Reviews. As this is a controversial topic, I am starting with something cute and fluffy in my defense. Today we are going to compare the much-hated Buffy movie, the much-debated origin comic, and the original script. And as they are basically the same story, I will be using Sailor Moon visual cues to help us as we go through the script. Visual Sailor Moon spoilers, and I couldn't do it without spoiling the movie, but I'm hoping you're just curious enough to do it anyway and not care. You have been warned. Both the comic and the original script start the same. Plague Era, External Village, just before sunset. All describe Europe, the Dark Ages. And you guessed it, that's when everything goes straight to the seventh circle of hell, because why not? And here we are. The movie plays around with the timing of the opening, fair, but that terrible narration hurt my soul and cannot be allowed to pass beyond the lowest rung for anyone who knows weed in narration. And while we got a pretty good bar scene brought to life, she just seemed weaker. This was supposed to be a fully developed Slayer and made no sense. It did do the next Slayer intro, even if you wouldn't know it watching the movie. The origin is changed, and I highly recommend the script for a giggle because it's so different from the series. The comic cuts the bar night scene. The Slayer attack, while tougher than the movie, felt random and rushed, though I give both adjusted versions serious credit for focusing on the grinning jackal part of the script and trashing the ambling and giggling part of Amblin. That was beyond annoying. Now let's get this straight. I grew up around geniuses. They're not always right, and you simply have to accept that I will straight tear apart anything that is bad, even if it's the script. And there are abysmal parts to the script. As for points, the comic gets an extra one for terror. As for the winner, it's clearly the script, for the vampire description alone. His eyes are skull hollow, dancing in his head, his bloody smile full with teeth, his skin gray and peeling. I love that. The comic, having had to go straight to the movie theater scene for a while, is disqualified. Now we enter the modern era. The transition in the movie and script are identical, save basketball versus football. Just saying. The coach actually did make me think of Teen Wolf split into two. Like the nice, quirky side went to the movie and the pushy, indifferent side went to the script. As much as people don't like opening to the movie, I have to say, the script is a little worse. It's like one of those classic 1950s cheers. It reminds me of Dawn's cheerleading tryout.
Razorbacks, Razorbacks, we're gonna play. We've got a secret weapon and his name is RJ.
Makes me want to heave.
Well, I like a little more understanding of Andy and Cruella's relationship, and barring the not as bad but still subpar choreography, I like the song, and the introduction to her non-cheerleader friend is hilarious and describes her character in the story to a T. Point to the movie.
Repeat after me. I am a person. I have a right to the ball.
I don't know how to describe the comic. They randomly race swapped Nicole, and I'm not entirely sure why, but I don't know how to feel about it. The script doesn't mention any race at all. Both versions start out the same, the mall. Once they get to the jacket conversation, however, I'm giving full points to the movie. Trust me, it's better.
I have knows his history. He wears a brown tie. You're gonna see class. I can't believe I shit off of you. Excuse me for not knowing about El Salvador. Like I'm ever going to Spain anyway. Wouldn't you guys just love me in this? Please, it's still 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
The theater choice dialogue is the same. And then they run into Merrick. Gotta say, I like the costume choice of Priest over Flasher Coat. Just personally. A stranger walking the other way bumps into Buffy. Same movie insults.
Excuse much, rude or anything? Nice ensemble. What a homeless.
The man stops, turns to stare after her. He doesn't stop them in an elevator like a freaking serial killer. His look is intense, slightly worried. His face somewhat haggard. Intelligence shines through his eyes. He holds himself stiffly, arms close to him, almost as if he expected something to strike him. This is Merrick. He pulls a picture out of his coat pocket. The comic and movie characters of Buffy and Pike are a splitting apart of the script version. Safe to say the comic took all the mean parts of these two. Is Jeffy really spending the night at your house? That's the plan. Your parents are always going away. You're so lucky. Yeah, I guess. While I wish Swanson had shown more abandonment here, I honestly liked this Buffy and Pike better as an introduction.
Just shut up, please.
It could happen. Oh, I heard too.
Genuinely torn on this one. Ups and downs for all sides. In the script, a howl in the distance becomes Grueler's howl as they pull up in the convertible, which I kind of love. Movie and script both have Grueler wanting to party and the other scolding him for his habits affecting his game. Points to comic boyfriend Jeffrey for saying my girl instead of little lady like movie Jeffrey, or worse, little woman like script Jeffrey, even if it couldn't fit his character development. Grueler wants to go, but no go for the others. Gone into the night in all versions. I liked the comics "You don't know what you're missing" followed by the "but I do." And there was a lost sweetness in Andy and Grueler's gentle headbutt that made you care the guy died a little. The comic is sadly missing the whipped line, and the script uses language which the movie tries to cover with pushover. Take your best guess. The Pike scene. The comic was wise in skipping this and subbing spoiler complaints between the two. The movie is less bizarre. This is what the script reminded me of.
Dangerous.
Outside of that, the only real failure in the kiss was the movie. Literally thought she had to stick her posterior in his face for what he creepily said in all three versions to be necessary. Though it does get points for that. The script made Andy less clean to great fun later when he evolves as a character. The edge, by quite a margin, goes to the comic. Especially because when Jeffrey says, "You'd get her dirty," Buffy gives more than a look. She flatly said, "Excuse me? What was that?"